Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. Today I'm making bife a cavalo. That's something from Brazil, from my childhood. As I was growing up, it does have a funny name because it's horse steak. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's what it's called, horse steak. With all that being said, it's the way Brazilians do it, steak and eggs. Check it out. Now I know what you're thinking, why is this called horse steak? As far as I know and what I've been taught, here's the reason why. You can actually use any type of steak for this dish. It could be filet mignon, ribeye, or a big T-bone, it does not matter. The important thing is that it must be topped off with some eggs, usually sunny side up. And the whole meaning behind it is that the egg is the saddle and the horse is the steak. That is ultimately what it is. And if you are ever in Brazil, you can look for it in any restaurant. It is one of the most popular dishes you can find. And today I'm going to show you my take in this traditional dish. And I really hope you enjoy it because I love it. So let's do it. And to start off this beautiful dish, I chose 3 beautiful filet mignons. These, as you know, are the most tender part of the cow. It's always extremely tender and a lot of people say that it lacks some flavor. But that's where sous vide takes it to the next level and make it the most flavorful filet mignon there is. To season it, I kept it pretty simple. I started with a little bit of salt. Once the salt was done, I threw in some freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. You want to make sure you season all sides, including the edges. And the easiest way to do it is to roll it on the board. Once I was done, you can see they are perfectly seasoned. The next thing to do is to throw them in the bag and vacuum seal them so they are ready for the water bath. I'll tell you one thing, the best way to cook filet mignon is sous vide. It will ensure that all of the flavor gets nice and trapped in there. And most importantly, it will not get overcooked. The next thing we gotta prepare is some amazing rice. And this is not any regular rice, I call it garlic rice. It is my favorite rice to make. And here's how to do it. In a pan, I threw in a good amount of olive oil. Then add your raw minced garlic. It's important to keep it under low heat so that you don't burn the garlic. You want to cook it until it's golden brown. Do not let your garlic burn, there's nothing worse than that. Once that's done, the only thing left to do is to strain it and save the oil and also the garlic. Now let's talk about rice. I'm using jasmine rice. And like always, you want to wash it. I like to do it at least 7 times to get as much starch out as possible. Then using the same exact pan with a little bit of fond left from the garlic, throw your infused oil back in, followed by the rinsed jasmine rice. You want to cook it under medium-high heat. What you're trying to do is basically stir-fry it. And you will notice that it will start changing color into a solid white. Once that's done, it's time to add your water. I like to use the ratio of 1 part rice to 2 parts water. That gives me perfect fluffy rice every time. Keep the heat on a medium-high heat until you bring it to a boil. And of course, don't forget to season it with salt. After a few minutes under medium-high heat, you'll notice that the water will no longer cover the rice. That's when you know it's time to cover it. Just make sure to leave a little gap behind so that the steam can escape. As soon as that's done, you want to put it at the lowest setting of your stove. Now don't touch it for at least 20 minutes. And once that's done, check it out. You have perfectly fluffy rice. Now all there's left to do is to throw back in the garlic, followed by a little bit of chives, and your garlic rice is done. The next thing I'm going to be doing is showing you my secret recipe for beans. Even though I'm known for my steaks and meat, let me tell you something, when everybody comes to my house, they always want the beans. You can definitely use dry beans for this, but I found that using the canned stuff is the same exact thing. The only difference is that the can will save you about an hour. The first thing to do is to strain all the liquid from the can. Then on a pan, you want to throw in some bacon. I'm using the center cut, and the reason for that is that it has a lot less fat than the regular one. Here's another tip, you always want to start cooking your bacon under low heat. Once it starts simmering, throw in white onions. As it's cooking, you'll notice that you have some fond stuck into the pan. To deglaze it, I like to use Marsala wine. That takes your beans to a whole different level. Then I like to throw in freeze-dried garlic. If you don't have that one, fresh will work just fine. Followed by tomato paste. Now mix it well and let everything cook through. You're looking at anywhere between 2 minutes to 3 minutes. And if the fond starts getting stuck into the pan, just deglaze it with a little bit of water. The most important thing is not to let it burn. To season it, I threw in some salt, freshly ground black pepper, and red chili flakes. Now mix it well and combine all those ingredients together. Now throw all of your beans inside. I like to use pinto beans, but you can use any kind you like. Even black beans will taste absolutely incredible in here. Now the next thing you want to do is to throw in some water. I like to cover it by 1 inch. That will give me a lot of salsita, which is basically my family's favorite thing from these beans. Throw in 2 bay leaves and let it cook for 45 minutes under medium
heat. Once the time has elapsed, this is what I got. As you can see, the juices are still extremely watery. If that's what you like, then your beans are done. But I like mine a lot thicker. And there are 2 tricks to make that happen. The traditional version is just to grab a smasher and smash a bunch of them. This will thicken up the beans real quick. But at the same time, some of the beans will not look perfect. The second way to do it is to make a slurry. And that's pretty easy, just add a little bit of water and potato starch. Remove both of the bay leaves and throw in your slurry. You gotta pay attention because it will go from liquid to thick real quick. And once I was happy with the thickness, this is what I was left with. That, my friends, is the perfect beans recipe. It is easy to make and it can be frozen and stored for a very long time. Now, as you already know, this is not gonna be beef a cavallo without eggs. And I like mine fried and sunny side up. You see these little edges here? A lot of people consider that overcooked, but I just love them. And frying an egg is pretty straightforward. I like to use this little mini non-stick skillet because it makes the job a lot easier. And all there is to do is to throw in a little bit of oil, followed by my egg, and fry it into my preferred doneness. The only thing you gotta keep in mind is cook your eggs the way you like it. If you like the overcooked crispy edges, do it. If not, just leave it however you enjoy. But now going back to our steaks, I'm gonna be cooking these beautiful fillets at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. And I can't wait to find out how they're gonna taste.
Thanks Opinion Outpost for supporting Sous Vide Everything. If you are unfamiliar with Opinion Outpost, it is an easy way for you to make some extra cash. You can get paid by sharing your opinion on a bunch of stuff like sports, appliances, or even what you ate for breakfast. It is really easy to get started. Just use the link on the description down below, register your account, and start giving your opinion to score points that can easily be converted to either cash or gift vouchers. I did mine while I was actually cooking the steaks. You can literally do it at any time, anywhere, while you're watching Netflix, waiting for your friends, or cooking a delicious meal like I did. Thank you Opinion Outpost for sponsoring this video. But now, let's get right back to the video. If you could only smell how wonderful this steak smells, everybody. As soon as you take it out of the bag, the smell hits you in the face and it goes like, oh, it's gonna be something special, because it is. With all that being said, I'm gonna pat it dry so that we can get a wonderful sear. And we're gonna sear this nice, quick and fast because I want edge to edge perfection. Whenever I want edge to edge perfection, I have to use the flamethrower because there's nothing that comes even close to it. And it's also fast and quick, just the way I like it. But I know these steaks don't look that good right now. But watch this. Alright everybody, this is my take on beef a cavallo. It's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, making some special items like the rice with the garlic and making the beans. I know I'm very well known for steaks and so forth, but for my family here, I'm known for my beans because these are absolutely fantastic. Let me give this a try because of course, and that egg, everybody, that's how I like my eggs, man. I like that little crispiness, you know what I mean? And then this rice right here is so fluffy. And my family, we love more the sauce than the actual bean itself because that little salsita, that's what we call it. And when you mix it together with the rice like this, and then you take a nice, beautiful bite. Cheers, everybody. Okay, I love steak, but rice and beans is like my comfort food. You wanna make Guga happy? You give me rice and beans, I'm all good to go. Now, of course, I love steak as well, and I used a beautiful Check out that doneness, everybody. You see that? That's why sous vide is so amazing. It's very difficult to get this doneness, edge-to-edge perfection on the grill itself. But with sous vide, it's every single time. Let me give it a try with this beautiful filet mignon. Cheers, everybody. And when you mix it together with the rice, hold on one second, everybody. You grab that little egg yolk, put it together. Oh. The garlic rice is really, really nice. It is my childhood, everybody, 100%. Rice and beans, steak and eggs. That's what I ate when I was growing up. Not always filet mignon. As a matter of fact, never filet mignon. Normally it's just a pound up meat, you know, like a skirt steak or maybe like a bottom round. They will just tenderize everything and then cook it up nice and thin. But you can make it with any steak like I mentioned before. This is absolutely phenomenal. It will feed a lot of people, relatively expensive if you do not use filet mignon, of course. But if you want to treat yourself, do the filet mignon, everybody. It is worth it and you deserve it. Anyway, guys, this is the results of my steak and eggs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in any of the equipment I use, everything is always in the description down below for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.